We're here. Hit that there. We're all good. Everything has been put in place. So I was going through yesterday and fighting with after the show. I was fighting with the inventory, and I came to the conclusion that I think I'm trying to do too much with the inventory for the game. So one of the things that you have to be able to do when doing any kind of game development is when you get to a point to where something isn't working, you have to let it go and try something new. So last night I started playing around with it a little bit and looking at other tutorials. Why did every game studio collectively decide to release their game this year? I don't know what you're talking about. Game studios release games every year, so I don't think there was like, oh, we're going to do it this year. I don't. Trust me, they don't collectively do it. They do it against each other, not for each other. Yeah, so I was thinking about it last night. I'm like, okay, maybe the inventory system that I'm building here is not the right one for our game. So I was playing around with it last night and looking at other tutorials for it, and I came up. I went back to version 7 and came up with this. So let me load this up. Let me do a build of this because I didn't do a build of it last night. I was using F5. Okay, copy, open, play, come back over here, tell it to look at that. We want 10A. So I took myself back to version 7 and then re-imported it. And what I did was this: is like I said, I got very frustrated with it. The whole pulling up the menu and all that other stuff. So I went something a little bit simpler. Let's see if it works here. It doesn't. So what I did was this: is he asked for his stuff, and then so I started this, and it's very rudimentary, where our guy picks it up. So we can now pick up several of whatever's. And obviously I have to fix some of the old stuff, but but if I hit tab now, let's go up here where the trees don't matter. Okay, there. It now comes up there of how many we have of stuff. As opposed to pulling up the whole thing. And why are there 2 characters? What are you talking about? Scry, you need to be a little more specific as to what you're talking about. So yeah, so I did that. I think that that's the better way to go with it. I still need to hook everything up with it, but let's go into town here real quick. But now that works. What happens when you start? Well, in all honesty, it will keep growing out based on how many items we have. So if we pick up all this stuff, which I have it set up to pick up, it still shows them. You know, I just need to resize some things and make specific things for it, but it'll keep grabbing stuff. The problem I have is because I only came to this conclusion last night, we may put it up over on the right side instead of on the left side, so that it's just, you can open it up anytime, but you can hit tab and it comes up. until we decided, since we don't have final art yet, so we don't have because we don't have a lot of things, doing it this way for what we're doing, which is basically just testing concepts and stuff like that. And it there's still those problems with it, but oh well. So it still goes behind things, and it does our like if we're here, I don't think it comes up here. No, it doesn't. Pretty sure we can still buy these things, but we may not be able to purchase. Oh, we don't have enough money because it's not saving money in the right place. So because even though we do have money in it, like I said, it's not saving when we save, so everything's back on the ground over here. Because it was just something that came up late last night where I'm just like, okay, there's got to be an easier way. So I went and looked for easier ways. It just doesn't save between when you leave a map, it doesn't save what was on that map. So if we're here, there's nothing in it, but we can pick up the honey, and it does show up, but the scale's off, of course. And if we go to this, then it's gone again. But we can pick up everything. And obviously the scale's going to be off on it, but we can get all the items. And it puts it in the inventory. It just doesn't recognize that we have them, so. My character is splitting into, well, is he? I'm not seeing that on my end. Maybe it's just some tearing or something going on. Oops. I'm not seeing that. Your character is splitting into multiple. I thought it was shade, but it looks weird. You have two characters stacked on top. Why? There should only be... Let's go back and see if there's two characters on any of these levels. Go back to here. It's highly possible that I put two in by accident in the... let's see. Let's go to some of our maps. Let's go to here. We're looking for... Doop, 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 doop. Oh, there's no character on this one, so let's go to here. There's one. I'm not seeing the second one on this map. Let's see, there's one on this one. Not on that. You guys were saying it was up here. There's one. We have a second one. I'm not seeing them. Forest. Run, Forest, run. There's one. Nope, not seeing it. It's here. Okay, let's go back to our rooms. He's not in there. He is here, but I think I can... Let's take him out of the parent room and see what happens. See if that's still an issue. Okay. Attempting to select an item in the parent room. Correct. Will... Okay, nope. Do that. If we do that, then he won't appear at all. I don't think he's on any other level. in this room. Let's see if he's on another level on that one. He said it was in town it was doing it, so let's see if he shows up. He's not on the top, or is he's not. There's only one in there. Not in there, not in Collide, not in that. Not seeing him. Oh wait. No. There's only one of him right here. Move it up to the top, so anytime we see him, he'll always be at the top. That's a good way to make sure he's not behind anything, I guess. Make sure we don't see him anywhere else. Nope, he's not in there. He's not in townspeople. Not in Collide, not in Uppers, nope. Only at the top here. Roofs, he's not in. Villagers, he's not in. I guess what I can do is try to take him out of the room, since it's supposed to be. Well, let's try that. We'll just take him out and see if he's still doubling up. Because on my screen, I'm not seeing him double up, so that's kind of weird. We can always put him back on here. This one I think we have to keep because that's his starting point. He's not even on this one. Okay. Forest. Yeah, we'll just see if he doesn't appear, and then we'll just put him back. All right. Alrighty, radio. Cave, I don't think, yep, he's in the cave. Worst comes to worst, we'll just have to put him back. Maybe they changed something in the code, because you used to have to put him in everywhere where you wanted him to appear. I do have him in the parent, which is fine. So let's see if that is something that works. Do not hit F5. I almost hit F5 because I was so used to doing it last night. It is so much quicker to hit F5 though, just saying. Wouldn't that create a clone, not an overlay? Well, I don't know. We'll just have to see if it actually shows up. It should be interesting if it doesn't. Yeah. Wait, your character is teleporting, right? Possibly. We'll see. Yeah, he's gone. So he needs to be in the level. That wasn't it. Or he cannot exist. So, what we need to do, go back to, we don't need him there. We do need him here, which he is there, but we're not starting the game. We do need to put them in here. Objectos, player role. You put them in instance. Doesn't matter where. Put them up here in the corner. Same thing with this one. Let's do this. It will go up in the corner each time. That way we always know where he's at. But yeah, I think he needs to be on the level in order to teleport into it, which is how your transitions work, as you're teleporting into a place, and if he doesn't exist in that place, then he doesn't appear. At least that's my understanding of it. I could be wrong. But we will just always dump him in the top left corner and see what happens. Okay. Let's do this again. And see if he's echoing, because what you're describing, it sounds like he's echoing, which I don't understand why he would echo, but okay, back to it. Wait for you guys, because OBS takes a second. Yeah, I'm not seeing the echo that you're seeing. Is it when that is on? It might just be a jitter thing from like what we had before. Let's see if it happens if we fill that inventory up. Might be bug with the inventory. But I'm not seeing it here, so walk into another part of the map. Walk in. Stuck. Yeah, I'm not seeing it. I mean, the art is drawn. Maybe it's because I up-res the art, the camera. Let me go back to the macros here for a minute. And let's put it back to where it was before I start touching it. Because we had gone to macros and had to change the resolution of the game. Oh, no, we need scripts. Double the resolution to 640 by 360. Save and build. So I think that we probably need to update that resolution anyway to the bigger. Very prominent at the moment. Weird, because I'm not seeing it. So that is the weird part, is on my screen it's not happening. Might be something with the frequency of the video driver for... Okay, so as you can see, the resolution is high again because the overlays are tinies. Let's go back to the beginning here, see if it's happening. Yeah, he's jittery, but he's not. It does kind of, I guess, when he's running, look like his right side is, wait a minute, what was that? There is something going on there. I don't know if you can see it on your screen, but if you look at his hands, when he stops, they sparkle for a second. Which means there's an animation of some kind playing behind him. Let's go back and look at our sprite. Yeah, we need to look at our sprite. Let us look at our sprite and, I mean, can you have, I don't think you can have two on top of each other. That's his hook. Best player. Yeah, his lines are thicker. Could he have two? Maybe because, let's see. No, because he's a standalone. Let's go to the object. Let's look at his objects. Are we drawing his object twice? It might be. I mean, maybe when I added this, that it's pulling his object twice as well. Okay, we don't need the hook. That's the chain. Oh, I think this is what's doing it, that. Let's take that out. So I think what's happening is because it's doing a draw self on him, it's drawing him twice. This is the code for the inventory on the side there. So I think that we had one too many draw selves in there. Thank you for noticing that, by the way, because I've not seen it on my screen, so, or it's not as prominent on my screen as it is on what you guys are seeing. We're going to take that draw self out and see if it fixes the issue. I think it will. Because I think that the command already has a draw self. And I added a second one because that's what the tutorial said was needed. Let's see if it's still going. Now he looks right now. Yeah, he's fine. It was that draw self. Yes, it helped very much. He was being drawn twice. The draw self was doing it. So let's see if our inventory still works. Okay, our inventory still works with the draw self, but it's in the old resolution. So we'll turn the resolution back to what it was. But yeah, so we should be able to talk to him. We're going to change that too. I want something that looks a little bit better. So yeah, so we can grab two of those now. They're way too big. We'll fix that. Cool. We have to add sticks. So these sticks here aren't part of the inventory system. So it's actually pretty easy to add them, which is why I also liked this particular way of doing it. So if we go to our object collectible, which is in managers. So these are all the things that system can use, that inventory system can use. So the only thing I really have to do is find the object for sticks. Where's the silly object for sticks? Quest items, probably. No, that's a rock. We need to find our silly stick. Ah, there it is. We just got to grab it and throw it there. And then if we go back into the game, it kind of does its thing. There's a lot more code, obviously, that needs to be added, but for our purposes and what we're doing in regards to just making something that works so that we can test ideas in, I actually like this menu system better. And then what we can do is learn how to incorporate the other menu system in to a finished product as opposed to a test product. Move to another part of it. I will do that on this one. I was just put the sticks in real quick. Oh, I forgot to change the resolution back too. So let's go. Yeah, we're not getting the little sparklies at the top of his hands anymore. Yeah, that draw self was what was doing it. Yeah, so things that I learned is we're going to have to make specific icons for them, ones that are sized correctly. Yeah, so the things that we have there, like we have to put it into where they can be used, because right now the items can't be used. We can collect them, but we can't use them yet. And I might move the inventory over to the other side. It just seems like a better place for it. It was over on the right side as opposed to this left side. Yeah. The part that sucks is I have to find out how to save it, because if I walk into another area, the inventory gets cleared out, and that's not good. Everything else is saved. I just need to find out how to save a grid or the list for that, because it gives it up. But that was kind of an issue with the other one too. So like when she asks for her stuff, bring me matches and make matches and candles. We can go and get those items now. We just can't deliver them back to her yet. And I also want to make that pretty, because I want to, when I put it over on the right side, I'm going to make a small grid for it. And that's it. Just something that has the image, how many we have, and all that. Seems like it was draw self. Yes, I had 2 draw selves, I think, in that code. So it was drawing twice. Next, I need to also have it recognize that we have the piece. It's not doing that yet. So we need to look at that. And what I think we can do is we can look in the collectible code on how it used to do it. How did it used to do it? So we go, because I just used the code that was there. Okay, that's just and stop. Okay, this is all the speed. This is the bounce when he throws things, which you can't pick things up anymore. He used to pick them up here. Speed and direction. This is all the throwing. Everything else is inherited. So what we need is liftable is what I need to look at. All right. So global lift, none. Count. Now the inventory stuff, I think, just overwrites that because it comes first. And this one here. So it's now our player that determines how it picks things up, not. This is the code that when he walks next to something, it draws to him, which you can see even with our inventory system. He automatically draws to them. It then puts it into the script. Where is the... There's our health stuff. That's just the animation though. That's because we're looking at scripts. That's a sprite. Why is it? That's why I couldn't find it the other day. It's in the wrong place. There. Why would I look in sprites or in scripts for sprites? So this is where I was working on this, trying to figure out how to save it. Because we obviously have to add it to this, so we have to make a map, you know, but here's where it is here, which is the DS list save. And we wanted to save the items and the inventory data is what we wanted to save. Then we wanted to keep that data and then reload that data in the load file when it comes back in. But I don't know enough about it to do that. So I think it'd be set up similar to this one. Is if the player has items, if player has inventory. Okay, let me look on the other one. We're gonna put this back real quick while we're here. Okay, that's done. We don't have to worry about that. So where is items? Items unlocked. Global items unlocked. Let's follow this back. How does it put things into that global items? Oh wait, no, here's item globe. There are global items unlocked. And no, that's not the one we're looking for. We're looking for the... Oh, player has items. We want this basically to be we need one that says it's called inventory has items. So I think that what we would do is we would copy this. Okay, has any items. Let's move this down here. That's just checking. What we're looking for is how does it map it? We'll have to make it into a global. It's commented out here, so as items, okay. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna copy this and make it, oops. Player has inventory. So we'll make that player has inventory. We're gonna follow the trail of player has any items. We're gonna basically everywhere where there's a player has items, has any items, we're gonna make a player has inventory. and then copy everything from the playlist of the okay, so this one is the one we just did. Yes. This one, if global, this is what draws it up in the thing. So I'm not worried about drawing it right now. If player has any items. Key setup minus one. Okay. Cycle items. This is so you can hit the buttons left and right to cycle through the items. So we don't need to do that with these. This is the list of the things that are in the top menu, which we may end up eventually dropping that. Let's go. We'll keep going up. Function items. What is this? This is purchased items. No. Inventory, and that menu is different. So let's try this and see if we'll map it just like this does. Has inventory.
Thanks.
So now we have a global for inventory. Now somewhere we need to draw. We have to do this. We have to take the data from the inventory which is this. So this is the map. We are mapping it into there, but here's the question. Can you take a DS list and put it in a DS? I don't think so. I think you have to do it a different way. I think you have to do it like this and make it a JSON. Save string file, save, which is what I was trying to do here. Adds. Move to another part of the map. Okay, we've done that. Figured that out. Okay, well, let's this is the other one. To try to do. Let's find this real quick. Okay, that's the quest. This is when he turns it in. Okay, I need to clear some of this out. All I keep doing is opening windows. And when you open windows, you fill your whole screen up, and then everything turns to crap. None of this is going to help us. All we're looking for is that one screen. This one right here. Oops. This one. It was what we're looking for is where we removed that. Oh, okay. Oh, what was it? It was draw self, wasn't it? Okay, this is where. See, I tried to set the depth on it, but for some reason it's not doing that. However, so what this does is it grabs the camera and it puts it where you want it to be. What we want to do is we want to. Right now our grid is a 16 by 16 grid, but not all of our pieces, not all of our sprites are 16. Oh no, a chicken! Run! You're being attacked by a pterodactyl. So if we move this, we're going to draw the sprite. This is what draws our menu. And what it's drawing is this. Is it's counting what this is what we want to save. Is we want to save this into our save file and then reclaim that after. That is the trick. But for right now, let's move this. This is the Y, so if we put this at, since we are 360 across, we're going to put it at 300. That might be all we need to do, and then the grid, it builds the rest of the grid off of this. So here's where we do it, and then the text is, okay, we'll say 360, 16 just for fun. Save, and hopefully the things that we put everywhere else for the things we were just trying a minute ago won't crash this out. We'll see. And it did build. Okay. Of course, it's going to do that until we touch it. Okay. Well, it didn't crash, so that's a good sign. Picked up the item. It is over there, but we can't see the number. Let's go to where we can pick up a few things here. Oh. What we'll do is we'll put the number on the other side. Yeah, because it's over there. It's just in the wrong sides. Okay. We'll put it up at the top, so we'll bring it up here. Doing something I know how to do. Well, I don't know how to do it. I'm figuring it out. So we're going to bring this back to, let's say it's 16. For that, let's see, our grid, we're going to put the, let's see if we can put the number on the other side. So we'll say 290. Might not be enough of on the other side, but it should be. We want to move this to where it's like that instead. Okay, let's grab these things. Well, we're getting closer. Okay. Move that up. It should be that one. We want to reverse these. So quiet. Yeah, so like I was saying is I kept struggling last night with the other inventory system and struggling. And I'm just like, there's got to be something that we can do that's just quick and easy. Because I could struggle with that other system for the next month, in all honesty, because it's just, I just don't know enough about this to actually do anything, so. Yeah. Still need to come up one more. 16 more, so that's 1 minus 16. So back at this, so this would be grid plus 0. And then 290 was not enough. What was it? What did it look like here? I don't think it moved it that. So grid. We'll make it 50 to make it a more dramatic. Because this is the object, and I think the object is kind of in a good place. We just want to move this to the numbers to the other side, which is what our text is. So I move this to 0, which should bring the numbers to the very top, and line it up with this 0, or this here. It seems to be 16 off one way or the other, because it based on grid. Because here's our grid is set to 16, so we want to do a minus for that. I move this our X camera to minus 250. That should put us in the right place. Oh, I almost hit F5. That would be bad. Okay. Yeah, that's actually not too bad. It's a little too far over, but we can move it back. But that is the right spacing for the objects, so now it's just getting closer to the objects. And maybe put like a gray thing behind it. I also like the black outlines on the letters on the left, so we might put black outlines on the numbers. That kind of makes sense. I also like the fact that if it stays on the screen, it still doesn't, it still goes behind some things, but, oh wait, no it doesn't. What the hell? Now suddenly it's in front? Ah, for some reason when it's drawn on that, oh wait, no, it's behind that tree. Okay. But let's see about putting the black outline on the letters and then moving this over probably. We'll try 10. And I think that will take care of that. So we'll make this 60. And then we want to go to our original menu, which I believe is up here. Let's go. This is the outline, I believe. Okay, so bump, 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 bump. Nope, that's not the right one. Array length 1D. Text string. Cross that value. Global game pause. No, this is the one on the bottom. Coin test. Yes. Okay. So draw font, text. Okay. Then draw the white one basically on top of it is what it looks like. Let's grab draw set color black. Draw font. Oh, add the font. Draw height.
Any Nunum says, hydration reminder.
Thank you. So this is what's doing it. Coin text. Draw health. This is the actual icons for it, which are our hearts. Draw coins, which is the variable, put them in the right spot. There's our coin. Take a look at the move this over this way because we're just looking at the top. I don't want you guys to be able to see the code because what we're looking at is this right here. because I like the outline on this, and if we can get that outline on our text for this stuff, I think it would look better for the. Let me move this again because it's not working there. We'll put it down here. So I want to put that outline on this text over here. Or maybe I'll just put a box underneath it. A transparent box. That would probably be easier. Boop, 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 boop. Okay, so if we go back to our boop a doop boop and deep a doop and dap a dap a doop. Oh no, it's not in this one, is it? No, the inventory thing's in the other one. Okay, ads will. Okay, I'm sorry. Oh, something buzzed somewhere. Hang on a minute. Okay, somebody just put something up. Okay. Okay. I'm going to copy this code into a file over here. Paired plane, I believe. Oh, okay. The ferrets must play. That is what they do. Sprite coin UI drama. Okay. Where's our player house? Draw the house. It's because we're up on this one. We are creating a font for it. And this is what's creating the outline. We're basically drawing the text twice. Okay, we're drawing the text twice, basically, and we're putting it in, making a black one behind the front one. We need to go to ours and then just draw it with a plus minus. What we need to find is where we were. I hate when this thing does that. Okay, so where is our text? This is our text here. Let's just try something. I mean, we can go back and fix it later, but if we do this, we go, okay, we want to change that to 70, so it's closer. We want to make the text black. So draw set text to black. Because this is going to be our outline. It's basically how they did the outline there, which is they just basically drew the text twice with a white one on top. Okay, so if we offset this one by 2, they offset that one by that one. So go 1, go. Let's see, so x, first one is +1, and this one is a -1. No, so we gotta do it 4 times. Keep it like that while I do this. Okay, so we got a -1. Everything else stays the same. Then we have a this one, and then this needs to be 69. Okay, and then this one, I actually left it out there for a purpose so that I could mess it up. And then this would be back to 70. And then this would be grid +1. And this one would be grid minus. This would be back to 70. This would be a -1. And more than likely, and that needs to be on top of the other one. Okay. Copy that. Take that. Put that there. Okay. It's a kludgy way to do it, but if it works, it works. Never have to fix it again, so save. Should be interesting. Yeah, it actually worked. Oh, that's silly. We're over too far, but it actually worked. Why? Okay, well. We are over a little too far, so what we'll do is we'll take that space out, because I'm okay with it being right up against that. And we'll move this over 6, it looks like. 1, 2. I will move it over 4. 4 should be fine. That's funny. We'll take this space out here. Then we'll take this and move it 4. So instead of our base being 70, it would be 66. Okay, 66. And this one would be 65. This one would be 67. Those will all remain the same. Okay, let's see how it did. Might have to move it over just a little bit more, but you would think that they would just have an automatic black outline thing in the program, but apparently not. So we basically have hard-coded it. Okay, inventory. Okay, then other than the size of the sprites, and we may have to do some adjustments top to bottom, we now have an outline on our numbers, which make them pop a little bit more. They actually look really good. We do need to change the size of the sprites that we're using for the objects so that they're 16 by 16s. And we might be able to do that in the display code itself. Yeah, because it's... Huh. Let's look at the code. As opposed to having to go back and resize all of the sprites themselves. Because here's our draw. This is just the position, though. Where's our key? Our key is this. The key is what we find the object on. We're going to draw a sprite. Object sprite key. Yes. That is the position. Left and the cam X and cam Y are the position. And then the scale. No, because we're not. If we change the grid, that's not it. We need to change the scale of the object. The scale of the sprite, because I think our sprites are kind of all over the place as far as like size. Let's go up to the objects here. So what we can do is we can do a test with the objects themselves, because like these are 16 by 24, so that's, or 26, that's not good. Let's go to our regular object. Let's find these ones. This one is 13 by 8. This one is 16 by 16. Because I'm thinking 16 by 16 is what we want for it to look right. That way it also fits within the 16 by 16 grid that we've created on the screen with that. This one's going to be a huge leap. So if we change it here, though, I think it's going to be a bad thing. Well, let's do that. Let's go to the sprite for read 2. It is a 32 by 32. We will make it a 16 by 16. It's going to look like hell, but that's okay. That's all that needs to be redrawn anyway. And then we need our different things. Where's our hat? Our wax, we need to make that a 6. Yeah, that's a problem. Okay, 16. It's gonna be a 16 by 20, so it's just gonna have to deal with it. But I think that moving our artwork to a 32 by 32 eventually is actually probably a good thing to do. And double up the size anyway, simply because our game is not working from a standpoint of yeah. Make that 16. And then we're going to resize the canvas. Choose 16 by 16 just because. We're just going to make it a block there. It's a stick. And it didn't keep any of that. So, yay. Let's take this off, put this on 16. That's going to make it short and dumpy. Up. I'm going to change this from the center. Get 16. 16. And apply. Okay, yeah, it's a block. All this stuff's going to get replaced, so I'm not too worried about it. It's just silly. I think it's more important to get the system working than to worry about how it looks at this point. But we will get to that point to where the look of it all is going to be a big deal. Because what I want to do is if I can get the functionality in for the inventory system and then have a separate functionality for the things that he can use, like his weapons and things like that, then I think we'll be in halfway decent shape here. So, this is going to look like hell. I already know that. These guys are going to look all messed up. They're tinier, but that's okay. Do inventory. That's not actually too bad once we resize the others to a 16 by 16. It might not be a bad thing. I probably want to lower it to where they don't go above the top of the hearts. So we'll have to lower it down by, I think, 16. Yeah, 16 looks about right. Let's see what happens if we go. If we're going to go to grab these guys. Yeah, see, they're up off the screen, so we're going to have to bring them down. Yeah, that 16 will probably help out. See, these guys are going to be massive, so not going to work at all. But we are grabbing stuff and putting it into the inventory, which is good. So all of that's going to have to be made smaller. Which means that the ones that we... Oh, that's going to be a problem. Well, let's fix the thing. We're going to have separate images for the inventory than we have for the actual sprite in the game. Yeah. So we can make one that's beautiful for on the game screen, but we have to make a smaller version for everything else. So even if we go to the pieces for our, let's see, how big are those? I think those are 64s by 64s, but let's go the gods, pieces, fountains, piece one. Oh, they're 16 by 24. Well, I do want to change the canvas size to appropriate. Make that 26 by 26. Yeah, make that 26 by 26. Then we'll come over here. Make this 16 by 10. Let's see if that may not have worked, but we're gonna try it out. Okay. That should do that. Let's do the same thing with this one. But like I said, I think it's going to mess up the one that's in game. I'm gonna make this 16. The other one will fall in place. And then we go over here. And we make this 16 by 16. And say apply. And our final is a 16 by 16, yes. Same thing with the other ones. These ones are going to be a really big mess. Because I split these. In fact, we should probably put those split ones in here. Just need to find them real quick. What was this one? This was a 32 by 32 because I had started to make them size or the other size, but here's our 16 by 16. So we'll grab that one in a second. Because I started to make, instead of having 4 pieces for the fountain, I changed it to 5. I just don't know where I put them. So I took this one and split it into 2. See, these are 16. These are the original sizes, so I'll keep those for now, not worry about them. They're animation cells. These are our bees. Where did I put the resizes at? That all needs to be changed too. Is there a stick? I think I just need to go in here and redo these ones. I don't know where I put the other ones. Unless I put them out here in inventory. Nope. Asset management is the thing you will hate most of all the time, every day. Let's do a search. Okay, what is this one? These are, this is the directory I'm looking for. File location, open file location. So here's the ones that I cut up. And these are the wrong size, but we'll still, we will replace the pieces. Okay, let's keep that directory. I'm gonna go out and come back in so we can grab the right things. Let's go for piece 1. We're gonna rebuild that one. This piece 1. Let's change it. We're gonna do what we did a minute ago, make it 16 by 16. First we'll make it square, which is a 26. So that'll make it a 26 by 26 and apply. Then we'll go in and resize this to 16, which will draw the other one to 16, and perfect, and then apply. Good. Piece 2. Import the proper piece 2. So yes. But here, resize this to a 26 by 26. And then go in and make this a 16 by 16. Okay, and then piece 3. Since we split this, it'll be piece 3 and piece 4. So we'll go with 3 here. And then make these the proper sizes. First, we need to equal them up to 34 by 34. And then come back and apply, and then go back and change this to 16. And that makes that the right size. Then we put piece 4 in. Piece 4 is now this one. It's not that one, because we're going to replace that one. Make this 34. I think we're still going to have to up our resolution for everything to look good, unless we go to true pixel art for everything. Whoa, it did not change. Okay, now we're at 34, 34. Move this to be 16. Okay. Now we need to add a new piece. A sprite. S piece 4. S piece 5. Okay. Piece 5. 37. Fine. 16. Okay. That gives us all of our pieces for that. So now, if we go to our objects for them, piece 1, piece 2, 3, 4. We need to add a new object. Sprite. It's 5. Good. Ba-dum, bum, 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 bum. It needs to be called the right thing. It needs to be called piece 5, and then it needs to be added to the proper things. We spelled something wrong. Pieces 5. Okay. That puts it in the right place. It needs to have all the same parentage and everything of all the rest of these. The collectible. Okay.
Brains.
Okay, so that should all be good now. So let's go to our map. Oh, back here. So now we should have, there's a piece there. Beyond surprise. So we should have 1, 2, 3, 5 is what we need to put on there. Drop it here. So we have it. Now we should be able to pick them all up, and so because they're 16 by 16, they should all fit correctly. But we'll go back, and I think we've fixed all the rest of them already. So let's close this. Oh, we don't need these guys. Oh, we don't need any of the god stuff. We need to go to all of our little objects that we put out on the ground. Which I think we already resized them all. Yeah, if we didn't, we'll figure it out. These ones, I think these are all 16 by 16s already. No, he's an 8 by 8. Okay, so that one, logs are 16 by 16. They're good. Hat needs to be fixed. This guy is 16 by 16. All right. So we need to fix phosphorus. He's so tiny. This one's easy. Make him bigger. Done. Next. We did reeds. Yeah. Where's our hat? I think hat is up here. Just make this 16. 16. Leave it at that. Leave that. That's all fine. That should be good. That should be enough. That should be enough to test the theory at least. Oh, almost hit F5. Don't do that. I'm surprised that it doesn't save where you do your builds at when you go to do a build. It goes to the last directory you were in, which seems odd to me, but well. So what we'll have to do is have second. Seems inefficient, but maybe when we get a larger size, when we go up to a higher resolution, maybe it will not be a problem. I just don't want to have two versions of every piece. Okay, so yeah, those are tiny, but they're not too tiny. We picked it up. Oh, we forgot to move that down. Here's piece. So there's some centering problems, but we'll fix that. But there, he's picked up all 5 pieces. One of them isn't showing. Oh wait, no, it's in the oh, because we didn't set the. We have to set the centers on them. Okay, let's go over to the other ones. Because these ones will disappear as soon as we leave the room. Yeah, we just need to bring that down. That's a better size for that, I think. Let's go grab all these guys. Oh, we forgot to do the rock. Yeah, we forgot to set the centers on them. As soon as we set the anchor points, those look like they will work fine. Yeah, let's set the anchors. Let's see which one looks right. They're all a little bit low. I don't think any of the other ones look right. Let's look at maybe the honey was right. That's a little bit high. Okay. Let's look at our centers on our objects. The hat was a little bit low, but we need his center to stay where it's at because he has to be, that also attaches him to the head. And what we'll do, we'll just put it at the bottom of each one, and then because they're all pretty much the same size, they should line up, because then, where is his? Oh, it's there. See, 8. Weird. I know it's there, I just can't see it. Ah, there it is. So it says 8 by 16, yeah. Okay, that should be good. Don't worry about him right now. Where is his? His is 8. Okay, his is, yeah, his is in the right spot. His is in the right spot. Okay. So what we got here? What were these guys? Oh, these were the objects, not the sprites. The sprites are where we set the center points. Does that say 8? 8, 7. Back one, just oh, let's just make it like everybody else. Screw it. The hat will sit a little bit high, that's all. Okay. Yeah, we needed to change the code. Doop 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 doop. That's the other one, not that one. This one. We wanted the starting point of the sprite to be lower, so we're going to lower this to 32. Oops. Which will bring it off the top of the screen. Everything else is based off of that, so we're all good. That should technically be all we need to do. So, let's see. Dooba 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 doo. Okay, let's see. up the honeys, make sure that works. Yeah, they're too low. We didn't, wow, I forgot to lower the text. Oh well, let's take a look at everything else, see if it's lining up right. As long as they're evenly spaced. Yeah, that looks evenly spaced. Let's look at our big old boys. Grab the piece. Yeah, so, yeah. Just make, we have to change the beginning X for the numbers, but looks like it's working. We just have to make all of the icons for it 16 by 16. That's gonna be a little bit like cringy, but that is okay. And what we might do is just put a little, I don't know, just like a little gray square underneath it so that it doesn't interrupt the stuff that's on screen. We still have a problem with some things going behind, but its depth is set to -500, but it is still not ending up where it's supposed to be. Let's go back to here. We need to go back to here. We need to change the Y to a +16. This would be 17. Okay, and this would be a 16. Actually, this would, these would, wait a minute. Yep, that is correct. Okay, so there you go. Brain, 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 brains, little brains, lots of little brains. Okay. Should be up on your screen, is it? Alrighty then. Yeah, that looks like it's in the right spot. Go grab these guys. Oh, our shadow's not in the right spot. We've left one behind. It's funny. Which one did we leave behind? We forgot one of the codies. Okay, I think it was 16, 16, 17, 17. So this was a +1 plus view, okay, because it would have been on the Y. Cam Y would have been 32. And and it is the black ones that are in the wrong spot. No, should have been right. We didn't have to move it over to, yeah, 7 and 5. Yeah, well, plus and minus, then this is plus and minus. Huh. Do these have to be 32? Let's try them on 32 and see. 32, and then this would be, so it should be plus minus plus minus. Plus minus. Oh, I think I screwed one up. Okay. Let's look at this. So, for the black, it's supposed to be x plus 1 minus 1, x plus 1 minus 1. So that would be 33. And 33. 32, 32. And then draw the white. The white needs to be, I think it just needs to be 32, so let's try that. Okay, maths. It's what's for breakfast. Yes, they are Pinky and the Brain. How does the game maker adventure? Yeah, unfortunately I'm Pinky. We are figuring it out. It is not perfect. It barely works. We've had to change complete direction this morning on how we're doing inventory. But hopefully that will be a better thing for us later. So yeah. So one of our numbers is wrong. But we can actually look at it, because if we look at the bottom one, the one that's missing is the minus. Yeah, the minus one, the top one. So the minus y. The minus y one is the one that's screwed up. So we're missing a minus y. And I think it's this one. I think this one's supposed to be a minus. Because we have an odd number of pluses in here. These should be plus minus plus minus. So plus minus for the x, plus minus for the x, plus minus for the x, which we have. And then this is plus minus for the y. So our x is correct. In fact, it should be, our y should be 32. That's part of it. Okay, then now our y's change and our x's go back to the irregular. So the x's are back to 36, which is what they should be here. And these are a plus minus. So this is a plus 33, and this is a 31. I think that's correct. There's probably a better way to do this. I just don't know it. So. I'm still reading because I got my ass kicked by Warcraft 2 today. I mean, it just handed my ass to me. It was just like, boom. Thought I was doing so well, but that last level is tough. Okay, I'm completely wrong. Am I drawing extra? Let's start turning them off and then turn them on one at a time. This is where I wish I could use F5. I think that you're doing it all right. I think you're doing it. I think what you're doing is all right. I would probably separate the logic in the method or function since it's a bit repetitive. Yeah, probably need to. But now we've got them all off. So my Y's are a mess. My X's are okay. In fact, even making them the size that they are is the correct thing to do. But we did kind of screw it up. So let's take this back to... I think this needs to be back to 0. And this is a +1. Because the grid is up at the top. So let's go +1 -1 is basically what we're going to try here. So I think that's what was messing things up. But I do need to build a separate function for doing this. He is absolutely right. But since I didn't know I was even going to need it, because of the way things were put together before, having it as a central thing that you can just go in and change, and it automatically fixes it all. Just makes sense. But like I said, up until we decided, up until I was looking at it and went, well, we can put the black around it. You know, I didn't think it was going to be this kind of an issue. This long. Well, that didn't make it better at all. Actually, it did. Because I'm not drawing over the top of it. And they're not moved down. Let's fix that real quick. That means that this needs to change to 16. This one needs to be 16. This one needs to be 15. And we're in our last zombie for this section, so as soon as the zombie's over, I will stop futzing with this because everything's just kicking my ass today. You can see where I want to go though, because like I was saying when we first started, is the way I was trying to do inventory before was too much for this game. And too much for my skill set as far as programming, because I'm, as we all know, I'm not a programmer. The fact that I got this far is actually quite interesting. But, and the fact that I can't get this shit to line up is further proof. So, yeah. It looked right once. Okay, this one needs to be made 16. Now this should draw on top of those. Yeah, it's the whole menu system and all that stuff, and the inventory system is really eluded me. And I 100% admit I went the wrong way on it when we first started here, and sent us down a pretty bad rabbit hole. I switched to this kind of system last night, late last night, so I didn't get a chance to kind of flush it out. But we are getting closer. So everything is kind of lined up left to right, which is fine. It's just now fixing the shadow parts. Or the outline on the letters, which worked once. But we will figure that out. I will do some experimenting with it tonight when I have some time, and then we will have it up and working tomorrow. I also need to figure out how to use items that are in the inventory, and how to how to use the items, be able to give them to to NPCs and things like that, and so we will get there. But this was working. No, it doesn't. But we will fix that too. It's all good. I'm keeping my spirits up. It is Wednesday. It is Wednesday, and it's Wednesday. We're closing that now. Say goodbye. They went goodbye. Go back to our logo. Get my ass kicked in the game. Then get my ass kicked in here. I guess today is just a day of me getting my ass kicked. It happens. I mean, it's not a big deal. This is production. This is how it works. You know, so let us go over to back to me, I think. Yeah, let's go back to me. Enter and go back.